Welcome back to Asinine Radio, a weekly podcast where we talk about music, and, well, that's pretty much it. So, let's go!
So annoying. This is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different band, different artist, and we break down one of their records, and we try to have a good time doing it. We get into the lyrics, music, how it was made, all that good shit. My name is Tyler. Way out there, hundreds of miles away, is Jeff. While you're listening, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars and 5 stars only. Please go do that. All the social media is at Asinine Radio. Go follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all that fun stuff, I guess. And that's it. That's all I got for the boring intro. Let's jump right into it. So what are we doing today, Jeff?
We are doing System of a Down's Toxicity.
Whatever, though. Anyway, yeah, we're doing Toxicity, this classic System of a Down record. So what's your origin story with System and your initial thoughts on this album, Toxicity? Go.
I think the first time I ever really noticed System was their video for Chop Suey. And I remember seeing the video, and I think at this time, like, the new metal scene was already in full effect. It was nothing new, but it was mostly white people. And so you didn't see I grew up in a very Mexican area too. So I had never seen people that look like these guys. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, first of all, where are they from? Because they look vastly different than what I'm used to. And they all just had like the cool braids and the very dark hair, and they were kind of scary looking. And the video was fucking bizarre. And you see like Chavo like morphing into Darren and morphing into Serge, and it was just, everything about it was just so mind blowing for my little, what were you, probably like 13 at that time? My little 13-year-old self.
We were like freshmen or 8th grade, about 13. Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. So like that kind of like really did blow my little 13-year-old mind, because Korn had already been around for a minute, and that lost its edge. That blew my mind when I first heard him the first time, but then after that, still to this day, But man, I do remember watching that Chop Suey video and just thinking like everything about this was just so fucking foreign. I did not even know what to think. And just how it goes from the soft to the high parts, and like everything about it, it blew my fucking mind. Even now, like watching the video and listening to the song at the same time, I'm still very, very impressed.
Yeah, it's an impressive song. I mean, Chop Suey is not one of my favorites on the record, but there's nothing that sounds like it. So your origin story was that song and this record. My origin story was Sugar. I heard that on K-Rock, and it was one of those instances where I had never heard anything like it before, and I was just so blown away by it. I didn't know something like this could even exist. It was like the first time I heard Korn, the first time I heard Nirvana, or, it's just one of those bands that don't sound like anything else, and it blew me away. So yeah, Sugar was the first thing I heard, and then I was able to get a burned copy of that first record, and I listened to it so much. And then by the time Chop Suey came out, I remember I was watching TRL, and I knew that it was the world premiere of Chop Suey was going to be on TRL, so I recorded it on VHS, and I would just watch that video over and over and over again. And that's my origin story with the band and the record, of this record, it's Toxicity. I bought this record the day it came out too at Best Buy. So yeah, I got Toxicity when it came out, and then been a fan ever since. Been gatekeeping ever since. So
I didn't get into their self-titled until like Mesmerize, because I did not like Steal This Album when it came out. Mm-hmm. And I just thought like, this is just not, like, even just from a standpoint of here's 2 albums person that does not listen to this type of music, which one do you think is better? Like, they're going to go for Toxicity. It's more accessible. The songs are clearly more catchy. And again, as we established in the rankings episode, that Steal This Album is a B-sides. It's fucking comp.
True.
So
also, Steal This Album was an album where Darren sang a lot more of the lead vocals than he did on Toxicity. He had very few parts, but still, this album is a lot of it is him. And then by the time you get to Mesmerize and Hypnotize, half the record is Darren. And that was like the big thing for me was once Mesmerize came out, I was like, do I really like this? Because it took me a long time to get into Darren's vocals, and I kind of felt the same way about Steal This Album. I wasn't too hip on it at first because it was vocals, but
I think like Darren's not a good singer, we know, but in Toxicity, they're not writing songs for Darren. They're writing songs for Serge, and Darren just providing backup vocals. And Mesmerize and Hypnotize, now they are writing songs for Darren. And so that's why those structures are different than they are in Toxicity. Toxicity, he's just throwing on there to just complement Serge or to provide any kind of contrast. But they're not writing songs around Darren.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, even on Toxicity, Darren wrote a lot of the music.
Yeah, he wrote all of the music. Some of the parts he wrote it with Serge, but I think there's only one song on the album that was only written by one guy, and that was Serge on Shimmy.
Shimmy, yeah, Shimmy was the only one that he's solely credited to. Which is weird.
That's one of my bees, man.
That is one of my bees as well. It's a banger of a song. Oh my god.
I do have a lot of bees. They're not all bees, but I got a lot of bees.
Okay, that's fine. We'll get into that. Actually, might as well get into it now. How many bees do you have?
I guess everything but like 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything but 5, 6 songs. So 10 bees, 9 bees.
I got 12 bees.
The last 2 songs 12. I didn't put as a bee. Although I don't like the song Arto.
Yeah,
Arto. I don't know how to classify that. I don't hate that song. I think it's cool. I never heard it till this week. I think it's a fucking rad song. And I don't know. I just don't like aerials really, and it leads into it. So
yeah, same here. It's like a secret song. I wouldn't consider it an actual track. It's more of like a bonus track, like the song Johnny. Did you listen to Johnny?
No.
It's fine. It's a good song, but it didn't belong on the record. But yeah. So I got 12. So where does let's get into Chop Suey since we played it already. We even touched upon the video a little bit, which I agree with you. The video is fucking bizarre. It's cool how they did it too. They invited fans out to be in it, and it's just fucking weird, and it's exciting, and it's wild, and it goes along with the song. Cool. So what B is Chop Suey for you? Chop
Suey's my 1B. This song
really?
is fucking amazing. This song is so great. There's so many rad things about this. I love the guitar layers. I love that it starts off with one thing, and then you get like the little mandolin type of sounding guitar there, and then you get to the hard picking. I think this song is incredibly well crafted. My only knock to this is that there's piano parts in there that I think it's Serge playing it because he's credited as piano parts. But like, why the fuck are you adding piano to this song? You do not need that in any way. And that's Ruben's fault for allowing that shit to happen because that should not be there. But otherwise, my God, dude, this is an incredible song. I like those little fucking notes in the verses where like the notes are left a little bit to decay. So you hear like that little feedback that's just slowly fading out. But oh my God, as soon as you think about what's happening, it's already gone.
That was what I wrote too. I think that noise is just the drums. I think it's I think it's the guitar just going through. I don't even know it. I don't know what it is.
Much.
It's just feedback. Yeah.
That's the only time on the record that I thought was like, oh, that's cool. Like you actually have some things left in there that you didn't airbrush out as a producer, and that was like the only time on the record that I felt that.
And it's really loud too. Like even a part that's supposed to be silent is not even silent because just that feedback is so prominent in the mix. I love it.
Man,
I fucking love it.
And when Serge yells "die" the first time, like I still to this day will yell as loud as I can, "Die, die!" So good.
And then he does that like higher pitch scream right after too, and then goes into
bonkers. This song is fucking bonkers, dude. This song is absolutely insane.
The only negative things I would have to say about this song are I agree with you on the piano, and the slower part, they do it a little too much at the end. Like I understand they kind of have that little crescendo part with the acoustic guitar and the mandolin and stuff, but it kind of it's just too long. It's too long. They should have wrapped it up with something kind of heavy or maybe a little bit faster, and not ended it on such kind of like a quieter note. But then you drop into bounce, which we'll get into in a bit.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I think like sequencing wise, these songs are set up to set the next song up for success. These songs aren't just like individual songs that flow together nicely. These songs are like made to make the song before it better and the song after better. Like this entire album is written to be like cohesive, to flow from beginning to end. And that's great. That's amazing.
I agree.
Because the ending of the song sets up Bounce.
It's a wild song too.
But dude, come on. Like Chop Suey, what Chop Suey is? What is it, like 6B, 7B for you probably?
My 11B.
Oh my God. Come on here.
I fucking love it though.
Oh my God.
I love it. The two main reasons why it's as low as it is because I'm kind of sick of it because I've heard it so many times, and because of that ending, because it's too much of that soft stuff. And I understand, in the context of the record, it makes sense, but when you take it out as a standalone song, it's a little too much of that, and that's why it's as low as it is. I still love it. I still think it's a perfect song.
That is crazy low.
That's fine, but it's my 11B.
We will go over 10 songs that you have above this that are not as good as Chop Suey. This album too is they're all about bridges. Their bridges are fucking fantastic.
Oh yeah, totally.
And this one, my God, dude, when those fathers first hit, and then like it's just everything gets into it, and the Forsaken Me part, like all of that bridge together.
Fall into your hands. It's that part too. It's the after the mother father. It's the way that Serge kind of wails that part that really sets it apart. It's that bridge is amazing. It's really fucking amazing. And there's a part in the bridge too where you just get the single guitar part. There's a single guitar part, and he's just hitting the faster like quarter single notes. Yeah. And there's not another rhythm guitar layered over it to kind of like create like a richer sound. And like that's like Rick Rubin can do that. Like just let him fucking play. We only hear the bass, the guitar, and the drummer at that part. That's fine. There's only 3 people playing instruments right now. You don't need to add all this other stuff to it. So I don't know why he did it everywhere else on the album. But this song, there's a lot of stuff here that were just left kind of like bare bones. But then there's a lot of stuff here that fucking bothered me, like the piano. But I love that bridge so much. The bridge is really, really awesome.
I would love to get crowd killed to that song in 2001.
So originally the song too, it was originally called Self-Righteous Suicide, which is obviously a lyric in the song. But the record company said, that's a no-no. And they really wanted it, but then in the end they ended up doing Chop Suey, which, it was...
I don't know if I believe that story because Chop Suey is so unique. It's so bizarre. Like you see Chop Suey in the charts, and that's more of an eye catcher than Self-Righteous Suicide. Yeah. So that's like a strategic marketing thing. Chop Suey just works better, and obviously hindsight, we think it does. But I just think Chop Suey attracts the eye, especially with the exclamation point at the end too. It just attracts the eye more than Self-Righteous Suicide was. That's too long.
Also, the beginning of the song starts with "We're Rolling Suicide," which was just like them prepping to play the song, which it was kind of cool. It's not as like cringe or embarrassing as John Feldman on Cynical, but oh, it's so bad. But I liked it. I liked the "We're Rolling Suicide." I thought that was a nice little touch to the actual recording of the song.
Man, what a fucking banger of a song! You're bonkers.
I like the song.
Bonkers.
So what do you have lyrically on this one?
I thought, okay, so I was doing the lyrics of this one, and I was like, oh, there's a lot of like religious implications, and like, but then I read that thing that and we had talked about this previously on the pod and numerous times where Rick Rubin had said that Serge was having trouble writing the bridge, and so he threw a book at him and said, just turn to the first page you see and then read the first line. And I was like, if that story is true, then I feel like these lyrics on this song are kind of stupid because I don't know. My favorite part of the song is random, and I don't think like words need to mean anything because Serge does a lot of things with words that just make sounds, like the banana thing, the banana. Yeah, so I think he just does things with his mouth just to make sounds, and they just happen to come out as words. But then that's also like that sounds so bullshit, dude. That sounds so fucking fake. Come, really like does. Really?
It sounds like something you'd see in some like bad fucking biopic, some bad movie.
Yeah, like come on, man. So I don't know.
That's how I imagine like because I never saw that Queen biopic, the Bohemian Rhapsody, but I feel like that entire movie is a combination of all these kind of those type of stories. A bunch of shit that just sounds like too convenient.
There's a perfect. It was. I think it was in one of the previews too. But I did watch the Queen one. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was nice. It was fun. But there was a perfect quote from that.
Nice.
It was nice. It was nice. It was nice.
There
was a perfect. Oh, it's not great. It was fine.
But
anyway, there was a quote from the movie where they're talking about Bohemian Rhapsody, and the guy in AR has got the CD in his car. No, the guy in AR was talking about how they don't want to play it on the radio because it's too long. And he's like, dude, 5 minutes is too long. And then Freddie Mercury or Rami Malek is like, well, I'm not going to do the English accent, but he says, if
do it.
No, because it came out so bad. He said, if you think 5 minutes is too long, I feel sorry for your wife.
Oh God.
It's like, yeah, that's.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that from the trailer too. Oh,
that's begging for sure.
It's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. Oh
it's
my
like
God.
That's what your team of writers came up with? Really?
Even if you were to say that in real life, I don't think there's any way you could say that to make it sound actually funny. You know what I mean?
It would have to be so fucking, it would have to be so like tongue in cheek or just so self-deprecating or something. Yeah.
Like you really can't pull off that kind of line and actually make it funny. Because it's just not funny. It's just
so stupid.
Yeah. It's not even like a rude funny. It's just you're just trying too hard, man.
To be funny, there has to be like some basis in reality. Like nobody talks like that.
Yeah.
And so because nobody talks like that, therefore it's too far fetched. It's too dumb. It's not funny.
Yeah, you're right. Ugh, disgusting.
Yeah, Chop Suey, fucking my 1B, dude. This song is an absolute banger. I don't work anywhere where we just have house music playing, and so I don't think the song is overplayed because I don't listen to the radio, and I work at a record store and I play whatever the fuck I want. So I don't hear the song that often. And god damn, dude, I can still play on the guitar, just that first part, and I love this song so much.
All right, do we have anything else on this one? We didn't really touch upon the lyrics, but I don't know. I think the lyrics are whatever on this. I don't really care.
The guy that directed the video was Marco Siega, and he directed a lot of the Weezer videos.
Oh, yeah. Didn't he also direct Blink's All the Small Things, too?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Which is not a bad video. It's not a terrible video.
Nah, it's a good video. Kind of a dumb song, but good video.
That's Tom Era Blink's worst song.
That is correct. Worse than Love is Dangerous. Love. So good.
So dumb.
All right, let's move on.
What's your 1B?
So, God, I can't believe Chop Suey is your 1B.
Oh, so good.
Shimmy. Shimmy,
wow,
shimmy.
Look at that.
Dawn. That is my 1B. I think this is the catchiest thing on the entire record. It's faster. It's a short song. I think it's less than 2 minutes. It's I love that little guitar riff too. Everything about this is so simple. The little scales that he does, that Darren does on the guitar too. Everything is just so kind of like by the book. Like this is I don't know. I love the simplicity of Shimmy.
Yeah, I agree. This song is entirely written by Serge. So yeah. there's parts in here where like the guitar riff is note matching Serge's melody.
Yeah.
And like that's got to be because he's like, hey, here's what I'm gonna do. I just want you to do the same thing. But which sounds conceited and stupid, but because Serge has such a wide fucking range of just weird, quirky shit, it's not that easy. It's not that easy just to fucking note match a guy like Serge. But like Darren pulls it off, and Darren's a solid fucking guitarist. Solid guitarist.
Yeah, no, I think he's a great guitar player. Very unique, distinct sound.
And so like this song just has that in it, and that alone, that whole thing was just like, what the fuck? Why are you doing that? And again, I don't understand why they do things, but they do them and they sound great.
They can make the simplest things sound weird and off-putting, but still captivating. Like, and not like you never get annoyed listening to System of a Down. Like, even when it doesn't make any sense, you're not annoyed. You're like, wow, I've never heard anything like this. And the simplest song, like I said, it's still kind of jarring. Like, there are parts that just kind of don't make sense on this song, but it's still fucking great. I love it.
I think System of a Down does like two things. Like Iconic is specific to them, one more than the other. But like one is the stop and go, like we talked about.
Yeah.
And this song has great stop and go. They can just immediately jump back into something that's so aggressive, and then it's coming from something that is like the end of Chop Suey, where it's like, what the fuck? And the other thing is when they're doing that, like that really fast guitar, and they're kind of like doing like those really fucking fast 16th notes, and but the drummer's kind of just like taking it back with like the quarter notes maybe, but everything sounds like a fucking machine gun. Like it's coming at you like a machine gun.
Yeah.
And that's what it sounds like.
I know.
And those two things are just like, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
And it's like when you think like John would do like a blast beat in certain parts, he doesn't. He rarely doesn't do blast beats very often at all. And it's good. Like I like that his beats are very, very unique, and they're never cookie cutter. They're just he's a killer drummer, man. Another drummer that's not talked about enough. And I think, especially now considering his political beliefs, but he gets shit on a lot for that. But dude, the guy's a fucking killer drummer. He really is.
He's so good.
Yeah. Well, think about how like groovy. Okay, so in Shimmy, that
last groove that happens towards the end of the song.
I'm just talking about the beginning. It's just Darren starts with that riff, and then Shavo comes in with that boom, 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 just that single note, and then John comes in with that really cool. I don't even know what kind of beat it is, but it's just like this really kind of groove based beat, and then it drops into that big heavy riff, and then the song goes. Oh man, it's like maybe I think 10-15 seconds of that, just that intro kind of little build up, and it's fucking solid, dude. And it's amazing what they did in this short amount of a song. I love this song. I've always loved this song. This is really a standout that nobody ever really talks about. It's a shame too, because everybody likes to think about like the super weird shit.
And the three bangers. I mean, the three singles on the album are just they're so like ingrained in the culture of metal and new metal in this era of music.
Yeah. That
everything else on this album is kind of like forgotten.
So here's a little bit of the song Shimmy, 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 Shimmy Till the Break of Dawn. Yeah. From, what are we doing? System of a Down. Here we go. That bridge, man. That bridge is so good. Indoctrination of our nation, indoctrination of our nation. And he doesn't even finish that last line either.
So good.
Oh man. and then the bass kicks in, that doom 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 doom, and then John throws in that kind of like jazzy beat. Fucking killer. Woo. And the outro,
1B, huh?
The outro, don't be late for school again, boy. And he's just like screaming it. It's it's a crazy cool song in under 2 minutes. What do you have lyrically on this song?
Oh, so like I think it's about education. I think he wants you to be more like self-sufficient and thinking for yourself. Because I mean, the whole like don't be late for school again, boy, girl.
Yeah,
that's like don't go to class, get smart, don't be stupid.
See, I think this song goes lyrically, it goes hand in hand with the song prior to it, Science. I think this one in particular though is about like media manipulation and how we're kind of told we're always told what to do, and if we get to the song Science, which I think we will, it's a lot of I believe it's a lot about like media manipulation as well, but bringing more religion and science into the whole picture. But we'll get into that later. But I think both songs are related in that way.
Okay.
So,
okay.
So what's your 2B? Second banger.
Well, gotta put it in red. Hold on there, dude.
I already did that, dude. I do it while we're talking.
I do it after I'm done talking.
So there's no downtime. So, but
that's okay. All right.
Well,
all right. My 2B is the second track. Needles.
That's my 5B.
Needle.
All right. So this is a song I always thought I liked more than I did this week, and it really dropped down low. This used to be one of my favorites, but it's still really good.
Okay.
I love it.
I like that intro. I think it's solid. It's just enough noodling. It almost kind of sounds like we're getting that sloppy, like sweet pea type System of a Down thing.
Yeah.
But it's quick, and then it stops, and then you get this onslaught of just sound. And I love how Serge yells in this song. The pre-chorus, he kind of has a different yell. It's more of like an angry thing that he's doing. Mm-hmm. And he's got some good growls.
He does some great death metal stuff. Great death metal vocals on this song and several other songs too. He's really good. He really does have a great range, right?
Yeah.
He really does.
And he's a decent singer. Even live, I mean, I've never seen him, almost saw him, whatever. But watching videos, like he does sing pretty damn well live. It's
Yeah.
not bad. Even when he's doing those quirky things, it still comes off as melodic and palpable.
Have you seen him do? I know you don't really like this band, but Audio Slave. Have you seen him do the cover of Like a Stone with the guys from Audio Slave after Chris Cornell died?
I did not.
It's really good. I mean, I was kind of blown away because I think Like a Stone is a really good song, whatever. But I mean, Serge absolutely fucking nailed it. I didn't think anybody could kind of sing like Chris Cornell because Chris Cornell. I mean, we talked about it when we did Soundgarden. I mean, the guy's voice was unbelievable, and but Serge really really nailed it. I highly recommend anybody out there go check out that live version of Like a Stone that Serge did with the guys from Rage, Audio Slave. It was really, really great.
Okay, I will
As a tribute to Chris Cornell.
possibly watch that.
And it was kind of, the video is kind of cheesy though because it was filmed like right at sunset. So there's a lot of these shots of like the sun going down, the lighting's all like,
Oy.
you know,
Oy,
it
baby.
was very, you know, cheesy in that sense, but it doesn't take away from Serge's vocals on it though. It's really good.
All right,
But anyway, yeah, Needles. Back to this one.
back to Needles. Yeah, this is another great bridge, right? This bridge drops in. It's very ominous. Darren's vocals match the contrast of the song, like Serge during the aggro parts, and then Darren with the kind of like the slower, softer stuffs. Like that's cool. We're getting a beginning stages of them like writing songs around Darren being a co-lead vocalist and not just like a background vocalist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was
That's fine.
first time. This was the first time that Darren ever had lead vocals on any of the songs, it was during that bridge, like you said, and the best way I can kind of describe that bridge is like his guitar playing just sounds nasty and dark and kind of spooky, like because the song is about doing heroin, doing drugs, and really drug abuse and things like that. So you really kind of get that feel with that bridge because it just sounds like depressing as fuck. Like it just sounds like somebody who's hit rock bottom.
Yeah,
And just continues. It's weird, man. It's really, really weird, but it's a killer song.
it's so good. To be.
Yeah.
Or
So
not to be.
this is your 2B, right?
Yeah. Well, I said or not to be. That is the question.
That is a joke. That is a joke. So here's a little bit of Needles from System of a Down. So much to kind of like pick apart musically before we get into the lyrics too.
Yeah, and that just like even Darren coming in the verses, it's so minimal. Like those little out, like those little things.
I know.
I like how it's
so
just
whiny.
building. It's just building, you know. But I like it. I like it a lot.
It's great. Even like musically, the way it's structured, because you have that intro, obviously with the high kind of just crazy guitar part, but then when everything drops in, you know, it's played really, really fast, and then it half times it, and then it gets really heavy and almost like sludgy a little bit, and then it drops right back into the fast part, and then it slows down, fast part, and then it drops right into that verse where it just dot 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 dot. It's just this song is all over the place.
Yeah,
It's fucking all
bonkers.
over the
It's
place.
Wild.
I
love
think
it.
maybe they kind of wrote the lyrics and the music around like the highs and lows of taking drugs, of drug abuse, you know, like because you have that, you know, that kind of manic part before you're about to take the drug. And then I've never done heroin, but you know, you're kind of like, you're desperate to get your fix. So you're kind of manic, you're kind of all over the place. And then you do that first hit or that hit, and then you just completely calm down and things kind of slow down. Maybe that's kind of like how they structured the song. And then the bridge is like him kind of hitting that rock bottom and realizing like what he's doing is really fucking stupid, but he can't get out of it. So he's in that really dark place. I don't know. Like maybe I'm looking way too into this, but I feel like this song, it's weird. It's a weird song. Structurally, it's fucking bizarre.
Honestly, dude, I think most of these lyrics are just words. They don't mean anything. And that really came to fruition this week when listening to the Terracotta, like the banana.
Yeah.
Like he's just saying fucking words, and they just don't mean anything. Some songs mean things, and or whatever. But I think he has like an overall like arc of what he wants to get across, and like this one is dealing with like addiction. But I think like overall you can tell what it's about, but if you dissect it word from word, line by line, then it makes no sense. That type.
Yeah.
Of thing.
I feel like too, kind of going through Genius after because what I do when I see there's a lot of like notes on Genius, I'll come up with my own interpretation, and then I'll read through a lot of some of the footnotes. And I feel like people look way too deep into at least the songs on this record. I don't feel like these songs are nearly as deep as people are trying to break them down to be.
No,
which was
I don't
annoying.
think so either.
And then from what I remember doing the self-titled record a couple of years ago, I feel like the lyrics on that record were way deeper and way more politically charged than the ones on Toxicity. Like they really scaled it down musically and lyrically on this one.
I think they were. I think that's because this one. I mean, this record is more melodic than their self-titled. It's just
totally
these songs are crafted to be more in line with like pop songs than they are like metal songs. These are very, very melodic. There's a lot of very catchy melodies that you can listen or you can keep repeating even after the song is over. And I think when you're not a great lyricist or songwriter, because their first album, I remember them being more outwardly aggressive in like the political sphere. But when you're trying to just write like melodic songs, you can't focus a lot on the lyrics because you're focusing so much on just writing a good melody. Lyrics are coming secondary. And what better way to write lyrics around a melodic song is to start saying words and then craft a song about something around the words that you've already said. That's what I think their writing process is like. And I know because I was there.
You were there, yeah. You were hanging out with Rick Rubin a lot, right, at the time?
Yep.
So like you were just kind of chilling in the studio, yeah.
Yep. But no, I don't know. Yeah. I don't want to say I was disappointed with these lyrics, but
I was.
But like the Genius stuff, I was like, motherfucker, because I kind of do the same thing too. I listen, especially if it's a song that I know, but I don't know the words. I'll say, I wonder what that song is actually about. And so then I'll pull it up on my phone and then kind of like read along as I'm listening to it, and then kind of formulate those beginning thoughts, and then I'll jump into the Genius stuff. And I was like, what are you smoking, dude? How did you get that from 2 words? No way.
Yeah.
Either like I'm just completely out of my league and my element here on lyrics and poetry and stuff, which I don't think I'm that far apart, but, or B, these people are just searching for something that's just not there because it's the band like System of a Down.
Yeah. I think it's the latter. I think people, I don't know. It's just, it was too much. If there's that much written, I've noticed if there's that much written about a song's lyrics, then it's probably not that deep.
Especially for a band that hasn't been around for 50, 60 years, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If Bob Dylan's got that much written about him.
Well, Bob Dylan's an idiot. His fans are idiots.
But he's been around for a long time, so having that much stuff written about him makes sense when you've only been around for 20 years.
Yeah. True. God, Bob Dylan. Ugh. Bad music.
Grateful Dead, Bob Dylan. I hate all things that are actually objectively good.
And one last thing with Needles before we move on. I love the simplicity in John's playing in certain parts, but
these little drum rolls in the chorus.
Yes, exactly.
So good.
It's so tight and it's so perfectly placed in the mix that you hear it so clearly, but it doesn't overtake the rest of that part. You know what I mean? Like
it's so good. It's
feels
like thrashy and fucking nasty, and
yes,
it's so cool.
And he does it so much. He does it so fucking much. Oh my god, his drumming on this song is incredible.
Yeah, that was like a standout part for the song for me too. Was specifically those drum rolls in the chorus.
Yeah, the drum rolls are amazing. So let's move on from Needles. So that was your 2B. My 2B is Prison Song, the opening song.
My God.
For your middle lovin'.
That's my 3B.
What an opener, right?
Dude,
fucking
that intro.
hell.
Like, what are you fucking doing with that intro? Like,
yes.
What is this, right? If this is your first time ever hearing this album, like you've never heard this album before, like you thinking that the song maybe skipped or it's like replaying or something is happening. Yes. You have no fucking idea. Yes. And it doesn't just do it like once or twice. It's like 3 or 4 fucking times.
I swear to you, when I bought this CD, I thought the same thing because I listened to it on my CD player, and I didn't have like a really great CD player, so it did skip a lot. So I thought that same exact thing when I first heard it. I thought, what is wrong with my CD player? And then it would hit, and then it would scare me because I would play my music so loud in my headphones that it would scare me every time they did those hits.
Yeah.
And this song is insane. To have this as the opening track is bonkers. Fucking bonkers. And it comes in so hard, man. So fucking hard.
That whole like staccato pacing it's so deliberate, it's so jarring, and they drop into it super well. They don't even fucking care. It's just it's full send and it works.
No.
Man, like his guitar tone here, Darren's guitar tone is so low and guttural. It's so, I don't know. It's so like early, like Metallica sounding mixed with like their first or System of a Down self-titled. It's just so nasty.
Yeah, he absolutely kills it with the chugging. The chugging of that riff after you get past those first few hits, like that when it goes into the straight chugging, it's cool, man. And then it drops right back into in the verse. It drops right back into the high part. That's so reminiscent of the song "Sugar." Those
little single notes.
I think this is kind of like a throwback to that song. And also in the verse, you get the back and forth vocals, and that's really rad too. Like they do such a great job with the back and forth on this song. I love it. I fucking love it.
I also can't fucking believe that like first track out the gate, right? Talking about smacking my bitch on Hollywood, and just like the way he says it too. It's so bad.
Yeah.
But it's good bad because it's supposed to be fun and goofy and quirky and dumb. He's not trying to sing. He's trying to be annoying as fuck, and it's working. I buy my crack. I smack my bitch right here in Hollywood. But the way he says it's so annoying.
Hollywood.
And then boom, right after that, like Serge is like dropping facts, right? Like that's fucking so cool, dude. Oh, what a 1-2 punch.
It's the transitions also back into the chorus, because you have John hitting those toms. He's going dun 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 dun. He doesn't hit like the snare and then goes into it. He has that very, very brief buildup of just hitting the toms back into that chorus. It's perfect. It's fucking perfect.
Yeah. Actually, during that smack my bitch part, I like that part too because you really get to hear John more in that part because everybody else is quiet, and John has some like really crisp hi-hat action in the song.
Yes,
just fucking tight. J Lane tight.
J Lane, yeah.
J Lane.
I agree. His hi-hat playing on this entire record is really, really solid. It's so precise and so
it's almost robotic. It's so fucking perfect.
It doesn't sound real. Yeah, it's the hi-hat tone mixed with his actual playing. It like you can hear every single note he plays on that hi-hat. Like
it's so bizarre.
There's no blur at all. It's crazy how crispy he is.
Yeah,
it's good. It's really, really fucking good.
It's good.
God damn.
A lot of good bass lines in this song too, though, right? Our boy was it Chavo?
Chavo, yeah.
Guy's a fantastic bass. He's a fantastic bass player. There's so many great bass lines throughout this entire album. He's really good at just even like playing off of everybody else.
But he gets buried a lot, though. He gets buried in the mix a lot.
He does.
But it's only because everybody else is so wild.
It's because they're so fucking wild. They're just so good.
I know.
But he's really good, though. I mean, like even like the slower outro here, I think is solid. It kind of helps like calm things down and sequence really well into Needles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like that. That's cool.
And sequencing wise, lyrically, it's a good sequence from this. I guess should we talk about? Or let's play the song and then we'll talk about the lyrics. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So here's Prison Song. Not going to fade in from System of a Down. From System of a Down. That bridge is so cool. It's like a spoken word kind of thing that he's doing.
There's so many,
because there's no rhyming, there's nothing.
Exactly. There's so many different vocal just aspects to this song. It's not just singing and shouting, but there's like spoken word stuff. There's stuff that just doesn't fucking rhyme at all. There's Darren, which what the fuck are you even doing? I don't know.
And bringing it back to the bass part during The part where Darren's singing "Smack My Bitch Right Up in Hollywood" or whatever the fuck he says. That bass tone, like, it doesn't sound good. Like, it sounds like he's playing like on some cheap ass bass on some little practice amp that they decided to mic up just to kind of like, maybe, I don't know if this was the intention, but maybe to kind of match the kind of obscene lyrics that Darren is throwing out by throwing in like this nasty ass fucking bass tone, because it doesn't sound good.
It sounds like, very like elementary. It's
yes,
very
exactly.
childish.
But it's good. It sounds good in that it doesn't sound good. In that it doesn't sound good, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think
that's very self-entitled kind of like sounding thing. That's I don't know. No, you're right. I agree.
It's good, man. It's good. And lyrically, the song is about, you know, criticizing the privatization of the prison system here in the States, and how, you know, the mandatory minimum sentences that Bill Clinton put into place in the 90s, which, you know, arguably, you know, unfairly put a lot of people in prison that didn't belong there for minor drug offenses. I mean, God, I feel like I'm just quoting the song, but that's literally what happened. The prison system is full of, like, there's so many fucking people in prison and in jail in the United States, and it's insane. And people get out of prison, and they get out of jail, and they can't find jobs, and there's nothing they can do. Nobody wants to hire a felon, and it's like every fucking application you apply for, it's like, have you ever been convicted of a felony? It's like, that's if
automatically.
So, what is it?
I know, exactly. If so,
it's always the question.
Explain. It's like, well, like, explain for why. Like, are we really gonna have a conversation about what happened, or are you just gonna ban me and then we're done? You're never gonna call me back. And that's what's gonna happen.
It's funny too. Like, a lot of the times, you know, those are on applications, but, you know, most jobs don't give you background checks, unless. No. Like, most don't, so it's like, just fucking lie.
Especially not anymore.
Yeah. It's expensive, too, to get background checks. It's fucking really expensive.
Because, you know, 100, 200 people apply for one job, and 99% of those people don't have any interest in the job anyway. Yeah. They find something else in the meantime or whatever. I don't know. The war on drugs. Remember Dare?
Yeah, Dare was stupid.
That did nothing.
Yeah, literally did nothing.
I think they actually did studies like decades later about Dare, and it did fucking nothing. Like, it was completely worthless.
A giant waste of taxpayer money. That's what it was.
Yeah, if you're gonna have a cop come to the school to talk about drugs, just have a cop stay at the school, so people don't get fucking shot while they're sitting in class. I want that.
No, that's one way. That's one way of preventing a lot of things. Yeah.
Dare. Remember those wristbands though? You get those wristbands, you go to like Camelot and you get like a bunch of tokens and shit.
and everybody got that black shirt with the Dare in red.
Yeah. Red Ribbon Week.
Honestly, the shirts are pretty cool. The shirts and the logo, that shit's pretty cool. They looked cool.
Because it was marketed to us. Yeah.
I know.
Like the skate culture of the youth of America.
The 90s. Yeah. God damn.
It was fucking dope. But it was
Dare
stupid.
Was such a fucking, it's crazy that it went on for as long as it did, and just how much money was thrown at that for literally nothing. Literally nothing.
I never, most of us never dove into like the harder aspect of drug life.
Yeah.
But 100% it was not because of Dare.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course.
Like that Dare had literally nothing to do with it. Yeah, prison song. Man. Again,
yeah, really. Like, now that I'm really thinking about it, Dare. I remember liking it because all the swag, all the fucking shit that they would give you. I got free shit. You got a ton of free shit every fucking year through this program.
We were still like a little young. We weren't quite in that realm of like, oh, I started smoking when I was 15, type of thing yet. Because Dare kind of like petered off.
There was elementary school. That was like third grade through like sixth grade. You know, by the time middle school happened, nobody. You were on your own in middle school, man. Middle school was like the Wild West because you had no idea what to expect.
I went to middle school in sixth grade too. Okay, so
I thought you did. That's right.
Like, imagine going to school. Middle school is the fucking worst. Absolutely, the kids are the fucking worst. They're so disrespectful, fucking assholes, dude, through and through. At least in high school, everybody agrees that it sucks, and so you're all there for the specific purpose of just I have to be here until I'm 18 or until I graduate. But middle school was just garbage. So I was like in sixth grade in middle school, going to school with like people that had fucking mustaches and shit. That was the worst.
Oh shit, that's good.
Fuck that.
It's good.
Yeah, that's a prison. I'll tell you that much right now. I hear nothing about it.
Let's move on.
Move
from
on.
prison song. What's your? Oh, that is your 3B then, right?
Yeah.
So then my 3B is Science.
Okay.
What does it sit for you?
That was like, that's not a B,
Lowered. Okay, so it's not even a B.
but it was really close. It was really close. I think I demoted it. For one, the ATWA, the Air, Trees, Water, Animals. That one's not a B for me either.
That's a very, very low B.
And then bleeds into Science. Okay, Science. This is pretty good. But then like you're hit with Shimmy and then Toxicity, and then Psycho. And I was like, okay, fuck that. Science doesn't hold like. It doesn't hold water to these other 3 songs that are coming up after it. But there's a lot of really, really cool stuff in Science. One is I like that intro riff. Like it really drops into this rad kind of like heavy metal sound. And it reminded me of that first Queens of the Stone Age record, that kind of riffing.
Yeah.
That's just very like, let's
stoner
just
rock
get into
kind
it.
of thing.
That stoner rock. Let's just hit with like the simple riff, the simple notes, and let it drone out for a little bit. I like that. A lot of cool riffing.
Yeah, it really does. And the riff just drives the song along so well. And everybody just comes into this song really loud and really full. Like nobody's getting too crazy or too wild on this song, which is it's a nice break, because this album just punches you in the face every which way. I like how in the mix the bass is turned up pretty loud in the verse too, so it cuts through real well. You hear Chavo just killing it, man, just absolutely fucking killing it. Love the riff kind of leading into that chorus too, that simple scale leading into it. It's a very straightforward song, but it's nice. It's really fucking nice. You need this break in the middle of the record, because the first half of the record, Bounce, Chop Suey, Jet Pilot, and Deer Dance. Almost every song on the first half of this record are just out of their fucking minds. What are they thinking? What the fuck are they thinking? But by the time you hit Forest, you get this kind of a ballad song, and then Atwa, which is my lowest B. It's another slower jam. It does pick up in the chorus, like it has that intensity, that chugging. But then Science, it kind of brings it back into this like melodic riff heavy thing that's not too wild yet, before we drop into Shimmy and Toxicity, and especially Psycho.
Yeah, no, I do enjoy parts of the song. I just thought like overall wasn't quite. I was really aggressive with my critiquing of these songs, because on first listen I was like, dude, this is a perfect album. Everything on here is fucking beyond banger. It's amazing. I said, well, I just can't do that. And I really got to get into it and really pick things apart, because I've been giving 3s out a lot lately. I've noticed.
That's fine though. That's fine.
Yeah, but like if everything's a 3, then nothing's a 3, right? If everything's great, then nothing's great.
But we all know that's not true.
But also, so like this song, I realized that they're not just hitting like power chords under a melody, but kind of doing like the Noodles from the Offspring thing, where the guitar is doing something totally fucking different, doing this really weird riff that's 4, 5, 6 power chords even per verse, per chorus, that doesn't quite match what Surge is doing, but they both kind of like start and end in the same spot. And because it's both so quirky, it works and it flows really nicely.
And another reason why I think I like this song as much as I did was I like the lyrics a lot too, because I felt like this was questioning. I'm not going to play this song because it's not a banger for you at all.
It's a good
I
song,
like that
though.
It is. But I like the lyrics because it's kind of questioning science in general. And I feel like we're seeing that a lot now in like especially modern society, where science itself has become like its own religion, and he's kind of calling it out on here. Like he's like, we need to kind of have a more open mind, because if you think that science is just one thing, like if that's the end all be all, then you're just as ignorant as somebody who only believes in one particular religion. Like science has become its own religion, and I like that he calls it out, because people are fucking insane nowadays, especially the last like 5-6 years, man.
It's become pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Personally, I only follow science, but it has become pretty.
Or it's like Valiant Thor says on Total Universe, man. He says, "You believe in your thing, I'll believe in science." So good. It's so dumb, but it's so, the way he sings it too. He's so snotty about it. I hate the lyrics, but I love the way he sings it.
Just to throw in an anecdote from one of my favorite cartoons of all time, but Adventure Time, There's a scene in Adventure Time when all the main characters are getting together because they want to write a song that opens this magical door. And so they're trying to figure out how to write the song, and all 4 of them are writing the song from a different aspect. And Finn is just like, dude, let's do it from the heart. Let's just fucking do it. Let's see what happens. And this other girl, Princess Bubblegum, she's she's super smart. And so she's like, let's do it a scientific way. Like, no. And then she throws out all these actual scientific, I don't want to say scientific, but like music theory words, like modulate your A chord into like an add 9. And she's like, this should be the blueprint for a perfect song. And I always like, oh, that's fucking, I like that. It ended up like destroying everything, and it was terrible because that's not the way to write a cool song. But I like kind of like where their heads are at. I like that. Like follow your heart sometimes, you know. Then he says in the song, like, faith. It's faith.
It is, yeah.
Sometimes you gotta just take the leap, just jump.
Yep. Exactly.
All science, all math, everything says that you shouldn't do this. Just fucking do it. Who cares? See what happens.
So that's all I got for science. So we can move on from this one.
I'll put it as a banger. I'm gonna put it in my last banger.
Okay.
That was good.
That was your last banger.
That was a fun one. About Up Adventure Time, it's a banger.
So it's automatically a banger. Yes.
Automatically a banger.
That makes sense.
Automatically a banger.
Okay, so what's your 4B?
I feel
Number
like we
4B.
should get through our 4 or 5 Bs and then at least talk about aerials and toxicity.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
So my 4B, what was my 4B? My 4B is bounce.
Bounce.
And then my 5B is
Pogo,
toxicity.
pogo, pogo, pogo. Okay, so my 4 is psycho, and then my 5 is needles. Toxicity is my 7. Whoa. It's a good song, though. That's a good Misfit song. Even though that era of the band sucked. That's a good song.
That's a fantastic. I still wish
So
they would have
good.
that on a 7-inch. I would buy that for sure.
Oh, yeah. Totally would buy that. Love it. Anyway, so I'm sorry. Your 4 was what again?
Bounce.
Bounce. Let's get into
Yeah.
Pogo, 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 Pogo.
Dude. So lyrically, I'm going to start with the lyrics because I don't think this means
Okay.
fucking anything.
Yeah,
I don't think this is sexual. I don't think this is fucking anything.
You don't think so?
I think it's not at all. I think this is
Okay.
just goofy ass words put to a really, really cool song. And those words just match what is trying to be like conveyed in the music perfectly. So I do not think this is anything sexual at all.
So people have speculated that it's about like an orgy and things like that, which I mean, you can interpret it that way for sure, but it very well could just be about nothing, just words like you said. Words.
I
are
think
like
it's based
bullets.
off of Pogo. I think that Pogo, 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 Pogo. I think that machine gun, that staccato thing, they got that word and then, oh, that sounds like I'm saying like Pogo. No, let's do Pogo. Pogo. How can we write a song about Pogo? And then they went from there. That's what I think.
Hey man, who knows at this point? I feel like the band for the most part have never come out and said what most of their songs are about, and this would definitely be one of them. But I thought it was funny though that, you can interpret the song as like an orgy, but then the song was also in a movie called The Secret Life of Pets, which is
Oh my God.
absolutely a
Have
kids
you
animated
seen that movie?
I've never seen it. No.
Oh, dude, it is so funny.
Really?
Oh my God, it is so fucking funny because
Okay.
I know
You also have kids.
but I know that you, and I've seen Tammy do it. I know you guys speak for Rupert. I know, like when
what?
Rupert's sitting there, you speak for Rupert. I know when Rupert's sitting there, you go, oh, look at that. You will mimic his voice as if you talk like a person, and you say his thoughts. I've seen Tammy do it. I fucking know you do it.
No, we don't do that. No, we do stupid shit, but we don't do that. We don't do that. I would admit
I've
it.
seen Tammy
I would
do
admit
it
it
for
if we did
sure.
it. No, we don't
All
do that.
dog owners do it. That's bullshit. I fucking bullshit 100 through and through. What Secret Life of Pets does is take those little things that you do, like I wonder what my dog's thinking, and just does it, and it's spot on, absolutely spot on. It's a good movie, honestly. It's because it's so over the top and stupid. You should watch it. You probably never watch it.
I probably won't.
Next time you're here, next
God, you're
time
gonna make me
you're
watch
here,
it.
I'm gonna make you watch it.
You're gonna make me listen to Aerials and make me watch The Secret Life of Pets.
I would never make you listen to Aerials, but I will make you watch Secret Life of Pets.
What do
yes.
you mean? You make me listen to it all the time when I'm hanging out with you. You even
You mean
admitted
Lonely
it.
Day? You mean Lonely Day?
Oh, Lonely Day. Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah, Lonely Day. Not
Absolutely, all
Lonely
through
Day.
and through, 100%, of course.
Anyway, bounce.
I just like this song because we're finally getting like a System of a Down song where there's nothing to it. It's just, this is the sound that System of a Down has perfected, and this is run with it for 2.5, 3 minutes. Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, really, this is kind of a carbon copy of the song Jet Pilot. It starts out immediately fast, heavy, aggressive, and Serge just kind of screaming like he does in Jet Pilot. And then both songs immediately drop into a verse that's fairly quiet, and Serge does some like wonky vocal things. And then it goes immediately back into this fast, heavy verse or chorus, and then drops back and forth. So it's like Bounce and Jet Pilot are essentially the same song.
I think so. Okay, so I'm going to do you one more. I think Jet Pilot, X, Bounce. I think I had those three. I think all three of those are pretty similar in what they're trying to accomplish in just that short amount of time. Because I think they're all very, very similar.
I could see X.
I definitely
see X
see
too.
that.
I mean, it's just with X, it's just a short song. But I don't know if I could really put it next to Jet Pilot and Bounce. Just in how short it is.
It's good, solid, like Machine Gun System of a Down.
Yeah, okay, that's true. But Bounce is a lot of fun, man. It's a ton of fun. Should we play a little bit of it, or do you want to move on? Okay,
play a little bit, extend it, because I'm going to run to the bathroom while you play a little bit of it.
Okay, here we go. Bounce from the System of a Downs. Here we go. Wild song, man. Like we were saying, what I like in the first verse. It's so weird. I brought my pogo stick just to show her a trick. She had so many friends, and
so many friends.
And then there's that weird high pitch like modulated thing that happens. Like I've never known what was said until this week, and it's gliding through many hands.
Yeah, never would have. Yeah,
it makes no fucking sense. That breakdown though is pretty fucking heavy too.
So good.
Pretty fucking heavy. God, the song is great.
Dude, the song is just goofy fun. It's just System of a Down doing what they do best throughout the entire thing. No fluff. Even though like them existing is kind of weird fluff.
Yeah. True. All right, so we have anything more on Bounce? All right. So my four what was your five was what again?
Toxicity.
Want to get into Toxicity and then Psycho and then wrap it up?
Yeah. So Toxicity is only my 5B because of the drums.
Yeah.
The drums. I think the drum riff here is I think it's the coolest drum riff in all of nu metal. Like I really do. I think it's incredibly tight. It's simple to follow, but it's still fun enough to like you have to kind of like really pick apart what's happening, what's going on. But like you said earlier, you can hear everything that's going on because he's so crisp on everything.
He is.
And there's production involved in that, yes, but like my God, this is an amazing fucking drum riff.
Yeah. He churches it up just enough to not be obnoxious, like to Travis Barker it, you know what I mean? Like Travis would have done some crazy, like shit he would have done on like Always, you know, the Blink song Always. I mean, I love that song. That's one of the greatest Blink songs of all time. But it's true, dude. But dude, he does way too much on that song. But it's great. But I mean, Toxicity. Yeah, there's so much room to breathe in the song, and like, there's so many perfect points of silence where nobody's playing anything. It's just absolute fucking silence. I love it. Fucking love it. Like Darren really just plays to the track too. The stopping and going of just hitting those kind of like not single notes, but there's just like big power chords or whatever they are, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody did so well on this song.
There's a lot of good silence, a lot of good sacred silence, a lot of good sacred silence and sleep. I do love this song though. And I honestly, I only like this song so much because of the drums. If the drums were just non-existent, this would be bottom tier B at best. But god damn, dude, like every part of it. I even like air drum to this, like as if I could ever fucking possibly play this.
You can play it.
And I air drum to this because I know what he's doing in theory, and that little like that part is just oh man, it's so good.
Just that groove going back into him hitting that hi-hat, that open hi-hat. It's so fucking smooth. just that roll into that, just that. It's so fucking good. He's such an amazing drummer.
So good here. It really is. So, like, it's just like you talk about like drummers writing parts, right? Like Dave Grohl, arguably one of the greatest, if not the greatest, is just writing little riffs. Mm-hmm. And this is another guy who is writing a fucking drum riff that is recognizable. You take this drum part out of the song, like, oh yeah, that's fucking System of a Down. That's specifically Toxicity, or that's the guy who plays that fucking weird music with those metal guys. It's recognizable. It's iconic.
Yeah, this song would literally be nothing without John, or what we know of it. It's John is 100% this song. Like there's no doubt, no fucking doubt.
So good. It really is. I cannot even like understate. If this song was better, this would be like the 1B for sure.
Well, so I think the reason why this song is as a lower B is because you mentioned this one on the rankings episode that they have hidden ballads. This is a ballad song. This is a System of a Down ballad, but it's hidden underneath the little bit of heaviness and John's drumming. But otherwise,
I can
it's
see
straight
that.
up a ballad, dude. This is on par with Ariel's, but just because of John, it makes it so much fucking better.
Especially because of the way Serge sings too. A lot of those
Yeah.
the sacred silence is sleep. Like that
Disorder,
kind of like
disorder.
dude, with that outro,
That part's so good.
so fucking good.
And then they all kind of yell at the very end too.
No.
Wait.
God damn.
What the fuck are they thinking?
These fucking
What the hell are they
guys.
thinking? Oh my god damn. Anyway, lyrically, what do you have on Toxicity? Do we want to play it? What do you think?
I would just play it. Play it at least so we can hear the fucking drumming part.
Drums. Okay. So here's a tiny bit of Toxicity from System of a Down. There, I just played that intro because that's all you really need. Is
so
that intro.
Good. Amazing.
Oh man, your comparison to Dave Grohl was spot on. It really is, especially like Dave Grohl on the Queens of the Stone Age record, the Songs for the Deaf. There are a lot of moments where Dave really drives the songs along, in the same vein as John does on this song. It's writing riffs on the drums. That's a good way of putting it. It's totally true.
And like that's what fucking Smells Like Teen Spirit is. That little easy drum riff that Grohl does.
More than that.
No, well,
Teen Spirit's way more than just that drum beat. Come on, dude.
There, dude. Are we talking about drummers, or are we just talking about songs in general? I thought we were just talking about drummers.
Well,
so
the way
you
set that up. There. Well, the way you set that up, dude.
Well, we did an entire episode on that, but that's fine. But Smells Like Teen Spirit, that drum riff that's a riff. That's a riff. That's one of the most recognizable drum riffs ever of all time, and it's fucking 6 seconds long.
And it's a ripoff too.
I mean, it's not a riff. It's just whatever he's doing. There's a drumming term for it.
Yeah. No, I
actually had it the other day. And I was talking to Ronnie, friend of the pod, Ronnie, about it, and then I can't remember what it was called. But I digress.
That's fine. We all know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are we good with Toxicity? I mean,
fine.
I don't really care to talk about the lyrics. I just more about a lot of the same.
Toxicity. You can pretty much figure out this is in the title.
Yeah, true.
Toxic City. There.
Toxic City, yes. And then this goes into Psycho, which is my 4B. So do you want to wrap it up with Psycho, or is there another song you want to talk about after this? Because I felt like there was another one you wanted to talk about.
Touch upon Aerials. I mean, we can do Aerials real quick and then Psycho and then be done.
Okay,
let's do Aerials just like a two sentence blurb. Aerials is a ballad, and I don't understand why people like it. I still can't even get into the song. I don't like it. Not a fan at all.
Yeah. It's not a bad song, but when you throw it up into, the context of this record, it makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. It doesn't fit anywhere at all. But there are worse songs on Mesmerize, or on Hypnotize, I should say. Obviously Lonely Day, but there's a couple other songs too that aren't as good. Like what is it, Lost in Hollywood? That song's fucking stupid. I'd rather listen to Aerials than that one.
Aerials gets me because of just like the chorus, and I think it's just so stupid.
Yeah, it's very
dumb.
Aerials in the sky.
Really? Like you guys are like one of the tightest fucking metal bands out there. Like that's what you come up with.
But that little part, that down, it's just that progression is pretty fucking solid. It's pretty elementary, but coming off of the craziness of the record, that progression is pretty solid. As a standalone song, this song is whatever. But I don't know, man. I'm kind of all over the place. I'm contradicting myself now.
I like how he plays it, like the because it's like, what is it, like a G, the do 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 do.
Yeah.
So he's playing like that, kind of like a power chord almost, but he's just doing open A, E, A in the D string, the A in the D string. So it's like 3, 2, and then 0, and then. But then, like when Surge comes in during the verses, and those are terrible, man. Life like a waterfall. I just think that's so stupid.
It's really bad. But the interplay between Chavo and Darren is probably some of the best on the entire record. Like that bass line with the guitar, the way that they're kind of it's very Red Hot Chili Peppers with Frusciante and Flea, where they play off of each other as like one unit, and that's like the only time you hear that between Darren and Chavo.
Always wanna play, but you never wanna love.
That chugging riff though is pretty solid though, right?
I hate this song even more now.
Dude.
It's so stupid. It's so cheesy.
Love chugging. It's so Metallica.
These guys are like regressing. It's fucking terrible. These guys aren't Metallica though. They can write songs better than that. Like really?
Oh man.
Yeah. So fuck Aerials. Don't care. Psycho.
So this song starts out with that heavy bass line. It kind of starts off like kind of low, very kind of low in the mix. Then it rises, and then the high pitched guitar part comes in, and then John's flawless hi-hat work comes into play. It's such a sick build-up. Oh my god, I love it. And then it immediately just kind of drops into that heavy part, the psycho, groupie, cocaine, crazy. And then it just gets fast and heavy and insane. Good. And this is also the only song on the record that has a guitar solo.
Yeah.
And it comes in so smooth.
It
just slides right in there.
It's not like a winky solo. It serves a purpose. It's more of like it's an outro. Like a transition.
Yeah, it's a transition into that soft outro.
And going into Aerials, like it's a perfect thing that sequences into Aerials. This is a band that wrote an album and not just a bunch of songs and threw it onto an album. They wrote a fucking album. Everything here like serves a purpose. Even Aerials, like it serves a purpose because of Psycho and then like the secret song Arto. But Aerials is a good way to end the album. To end the album on a softer note like that is fine. Either end it on like a softer note like that, kind of let it play out, or end it aggressively and just cut it off. And they chose Aerials. Mm-hmm. People loved it. It made them a bunch of money. That's fine. I don't like it, but who cares?
Even the band have said that they were shocked by how popular Aerials was.
I don't fucking get. Oh my god! Have you seen? Did you see? I'm sure you've seen it. Machine Gun Kelly do Aerials.
Oh yeah, it's so bad.
Holy shit! His bandmates are fucking laughing. Like, what are you fucking kidding me?
I think who was it? I think it was John. Said he tweeted something about it, saying like it was not good. But like he was happy that like, he was nice about it. He pretty much said it was shit, but he said it very politely. I think Chavo pretty much did the same thing. They didn't want to be mean to him, but they pretty much said this is fucking terrible.
It's like, dude, stay in your lane, bro. Come on. Good
like,
Lord.
I think it was like we appreciate that he did the cover, but it wasn't what we thought it was going to be. Something like that. It was so.
It's dancing around the obvious.
That's even worse because it's like they're just disappointed. They're not mad at you for doing it, man. They're just
like a dad.
They're just bummed that you did it, and it would just turned out so bad.
Just a mood killer.
Oh, absolutely. Why? Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. Aerials.
Yeah, little shit. And then he talked, and then he was like, "Oh, this is a band that was highly influential to me." And you pick Aerials?
I know, right?
Bro, come on, poser. Fuck off.
Two favorite songs are Aerials and Lonely Day. And it's mine.
Oh God, imagine. That'd be so bad.
I would like him to do Lonely Day just so we could laugh at it.
Just so we can finally at least be mean to him in a public format. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Psycho. I mean, we barely touched upon it, but who cares? I mean, it's
Psycho's good, dude.
Psycho's great.
It's a good song. It brings together all of their sounds and in a deep cut on the album.
Yeah, and I mean, lyrically, this one talks about, you know, it's them kind of criticizing the rock and metal scene, you know, of the groupies, the drugs, just everything that we're led to believe the industry is like. But they're pretty much saying, you know, fuck all those people. Those are the worst kind of people. These are the people that we don't like in the scene. We're different from them. We're actually have a brain. That's kind of what this song is about.
I got the same thing. I agree.
We don't have to play Psycho. We can kind of wrap it up.
Okay, let's wrap it up. Rock a wrap up.
Rock a wrap up. So let's give our final thoughts on this record, and then we will rate it based off of our world famous 3-point rating system, where 3 is a perfect album, 2 is a good album you're going to continue to listen to, 1 is a bad album but give it a shot, and 0 is the worst thing you've ever heard. So what do you got? Go.
Again, Chop Suey was like the first introduction I really had to this band. It blew my fucking mind. I cannot believe that these guys are playing this music in a genre of music that was dominated by Fred Durst and Jonathan Davis. And these guys look so different, and I was entranced. I was fucking mesmerized and hypnotized. Get it?
I get it. That was the joke, dude. Whoa.
And steal his album ties.
You gotta stop.
But I think that these guys they kept getting better. They really did in different ways. And we ranked the albums and paid our respects in those ways. But all the way up until the Mesmerized Hypnotized duo, which really those are just like, that should have been like a double album instead of two different ones. Was.
They were released like 6 months apart.
So. Yeah, it should have just been a double fucking album. Cheese balls. But Toxicity was just something, and we didn't even talk about like, this came out right before September 11th, and
yeah, we didn't touch upon that.
In retrospect, yeah, like they had no idea what was going to happen, right? It completely happenstance. But September 11th changed things for good, and still to this day we're seeing effects of it, especially when it fucking happened. And so these guys are highly political, and just because their lyrics aren't as political as I thought they would have been this week, they're still very outspoken. And yeah, you mentioned like John, the drummer, he's still very political in a different way that people would not think that some guy who's born in like Lebanon would be, because he's
Armenia
Trump supporter. I think he's born in Lebanon.
Was he?
Yeah.
I thought they were all Armenian.
Which, I mean, to be fair, that Southern California public school geography class, I don't know all of that, but I'm pretty sure that he was born in Lebanon. Not that I even know where the fuck Lebanon is.
You're right. Okay, you're right. He was born in Beirut, Lebanon. Yeah, but he was raised in. No, he was born in Lebanon to Armenian parents, and then they moved to the States after the Lebanese Civil War. That's what it is. So technically, he is Armenian, but he was born in Lebanon. There we go. Whatever.
So I don't know. I don't know the difference between. Do you? Do you care to enlighten me?
I mean, they're two different countries.
But Armenia, it's not Armenia. It's like this subset of a different.
Armenia is a country.
But it's. I don't think it's called Armenia.
Yes, it is. Armenia is a country.
Where is it?
It's in the Middle East.
I think you're just fucking pulling shit from space here.
No, I'm not. No, I'll read it right here. Armenia is a nation and former Soviet republic in the mountainous Caucasus region of Asia and Europe. It's right next to Azerbaijan. That's like been that's the whole thing. Azerbaijan has been trying to. They've essentially like. They constantly are bombing Armenia or the citizens of Armenia.
It's just that small pocket, like wherever that what sea is right there. Is that I don't know, wherever that fucking sea is. I know it's around that. I don't know.
Caspian Sea.
Is it the Caspian Sea?
Well, they're in between the Caspian and Black Sea. Either
you read up this week, or you are really good at your history.
I know everything.
Apparently I should have read more about it this week. I didn't. But yeah, anyway, going back to this Toxicity thing, that's what really like blew my mind was I was so used to seeing just generic white people singing this type of music. And even dating back to like thrash metal and metal in general, it's always like a certain type of people that look like the generic white person playing this music. And these guys were so exotic, and I was just so like, damn. Even like Rage, right? Like Rage was a little bit more exotic, but they're still kind of Mexican. And Zach De La Roca, even though he's from Irvine and grew up in Irvine.
Well, like one of the guys
fine.
is Hispanic. The other guy is African American. The other two guys are white.
Tom Morello's a bitch, first of all. That's what he is through and through.
God, dude, he really is kind of a bitch, man. As time goes on, I just like him less and less, man.
God, same here. He gets fucking worse and worse because he gets up his own ass. I swear to God, like he fucking thinks he's one of the greatest things of all time, and that's what irritates me the most. Zero like humbleness about him whatsoever.
Yeah,
fucking asshole. Whatever, man. Toxicity is a great album. It's fucking fantastic. I hate giving threes all the time because it just seems so, right? Like really.
Just do it.
I want to, but I don't want to. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna give this a 2 point.
So annoying.
I'm gonna give it 2.9.
Just follow your heart. That's all you needed to do is follow your heart.
If I wanted to follow my heart,
and you decided not to do it, and you decided.
You're right. You're right. We talk about science, right? I follow science. Take the leap. Here we go. It's a perfect album. 3 out of 3, baby. It set precedent. System of a Down was still setting precedent even after their 4th, 5th album. They're still doing things that other bands wish and then wildest imaginations could possibly do. They're still writing music that is quirky, fucking bizarre, weird, that is still capturing the imaginations of other bands that are even better than that came before them. People are still just like blown away. Like, how the fuck did you write that? Even the heavy hitters in new metal have had various interviews that I read this week. Were like, yeah, System of a Down, I don't fucking get it. I don't know how they fucking come up with that shit. Like, that is just mind blowing.
I know. There's nothing like, you can't even try to mimic System of a Down. Like, nothing is as pure as they are. They were, because they haven't put out music in, what is it, 18 years now? Yeah, 18 years now. Almost 18 years.
Yeah.
So, fuck, that's great. Dude, 18 fucking years. They haven't put out any music.
That's bizarre.
Oh, my God. I remember, oh, my God. I remember when this album, the Mesmerized Hypnotized, came out, and, you know, you and I went to Ozfest, and we didn't get to see him, but
almost
dude, they were touring. They were literally touring these records. They had just come out. You know what I mean?
Oh,
we were grown ass adults. Well, not grown ass. We were barely 18. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. It's fucking nuts. So yeah, you give this record a 2.9. This one,
I bumped it up to a perfect 3 because I said I'm gonna take the leap of faith.
Right.
I'm gonna say fuck it. I'm gonna follow my heart.
You followed your
said,
heart.
So I did it.
Yes. I mean, fuck. What more can I say? This is a truly unique record in its heaviness, its weirdness, quirkiness. Nothing sounds like System. The quality. I mean, just sonically, Rick Rubin nailed it on this. Honestly, all of the System records. The tone, everybody's tone, the guitar, drums, bass, vocal, everything sounds perfect. Like there's just enough grittiness, especially on the first record. It's a little polished on this record, but there's still enough there to where it stands apart. It's not just this like wall of noise. Lyrically, I was a little bit disappointed, like we were saying, regarding the lyrics, but it's still solid stuff, man. We're just kind of like, we're just trying to find things bad about this record when there really isn't anything bad about it. We're just trying to be as fair as we can, but this is a perfect record. It's so good. For 3 out of 3. I mean, I don't do that often. I don't give 3s very often. And, but this one is definitely a 3. Perfect 3 out of 3.
Dude, from beginning to end, minus Ariel's kind of, but I really do have a good time. Like, I'm laughing. I'm like, God, this is so fucking good.
But even Ariel's
is so giddy.
Ariel's is still fun to like sing because the melody is so ridiculous, but there's some really good, solid musical parts in that. Like the chugging is really good. It's elementary, but it's still really good. And like I was saying, the interplay between Chavo and Darren is solid too. There's some good shit on that song, but it is cheesy as hell.
People that like Ariel's are probably the same people that think like The Wall by Pink Floyd is like the best thing that's ever been.
Because they've never heard anything else from the band. That's what it is. Or they think fucking Let It Be is the greatest Beatles record or the greatest Beatles song. It's like the same shit. Terrible fucking record.
Terrible
Let It Be
band.
is the White Album. Terrible record. I don't give a fuck. I will say it. Terrible record. That's all I got. Do we have anything else on this one?
No, that's it.
What is going on?
What was that? Are y'all
I
mad?
don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit too toasty tonight. Who knows?
Dude, new metal fucking season has fucked us up, man. It's been
really right.
It's been wild. It's been wild.
It's been fun though. It's been a lot of fun.
Fanboy like to the max.
Yeah, we haven't. It has been all fanboy for the last coming up 4 weeks. Yeah, it'll be.
We'll
all
see what
fanboys.
happens. We'll see what happens with the Corn's corn.
You're gonna talk
it's
so
been-
much. We're not doing Corn's corn. We're not going to doing follow the leader.
Follow the leader's corns.
Yeah, spoilers. Doing follow the leader. You're gonna talk shit on the Far Side song. You're gonna talk shit on the Fred Durst song, on
All
the
of it,
Ice Cube
baby.
song.
All of
That-
it.
You're dumb.
Coming at me with your halitosis.
You know what? you can't talk shit on Got the Life though, because that is a perfect song. Greatest song ever written.
Oh my god.
It's true though, right?
No, none of what you said is true. No.
You're so annoying. So annoying.
I'm annoying because I don't think "Got the Life" is the greatest song ever written.
Well, it is the greatest song. Well, we'll get into that next week. I'm not going to argue with you right now.
That makes me annoying. I think that "Got the Life" is not the greatest song of all time.
Yeah, we'll talk about this next week. So,
Okay.
Thank you all for listening. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Give us 5 stars and 5 stars only. Tell all your friends because we're the greatest podcast ever. And that's it. That's all.
Just-